very good morning, beautiful people, and welcome to another live safari with Painted Dog TV. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Andrew, and I will be your guide this morning. It is a lovely, beautiful morning here out on the Rietspruit Game Reserve. The temperature is not too warm as of yet, so hopefully we'll get to see all the wonderful and weird things that call the Rietspruit Game Reserve home. We are obviously going to look for our larger animals, maybe the elephants, some rhino. The cheetah, unfortunately, are on the side of the reserve we can't get to. However, we don't let that stop us, because there's a cheetah mother and cub on the reserve somewhere as well. Basil, hold on. We're about to go inverted, folks. Hold on, Basil. Whoa. We're at this angle, folks. Treacherous roads after the first rains of the season that we had a couple of weeks back. Believe it or not, we actually received a fifth of our annual rainfall for the whole year in the span of 2 days, which for me was quite remarkable. 1/5, that's a lot if you consider our annual rainfall. Now, obviously in the previous episode with myself and Gareth, we told you about the Christmas tree. We have now found said Christmas tree and it is back at camp. However, Andrew and Basil still need to spray paint it. So that will happen throughout the course of today sometime, and the next time you see it, it shall be spray painted. But one of our other missions for this morning is to find the first ornament for the tree, whether it be some elephant pudding to hang as tinsel. Are they going that way? They're going that way. Okay, I was about to say, if they're going that way, they're old. Where are you looking?
Yeah, most of the time.
Let's just go further up. Those are lion tracks. They just look a bit old. See how they've been windswept quite a bit. I'll try pull to the left so Basil can show you. Or did I just drive over them? So you can see there is a lion track, which I'll get out and show you all. So, you can see here, you're on this one, eh? Here's one toe, here's the second toe, third toe, and fourth toe. Then at the back pad, there's 3 lobes. And you can see it's quite a large lion track. It's almost the size of my hand. So if I had to take a guess, I'd say this is a male lion, just judging by the sheer size. But if it was a fresh track, if I put my hand down here, move the leaf, you see how crisp these edges are? That means those are fresh tracks. There's been no wind to move the tracks, but if there's wind, you see how that edge becomes flatter and flatter. And you can see how flat the edges of this track are. So that's telling me that they're not the freshest, but Basil's got a good eye for tracks. So I know if we keep going and there's tracks on the left-hand side of the road, my trusty cameraman will tell me. It's actually pretty good at his cheetah tracks and lion tracks now. Quite impressive. Do we have a flat tire? It sounded like it for a second. I was quite worried, folks. So I heard a pop. Turns out I just drove over a stick, but sure. Post-traumatic stress from, oh, wow, look at this, folks. We've got 2 yellow-billed kites in a tree perching. That is gorgeous. I'm gonna just swing the vehicle around for Basil. How epic is this? Oh, silly things. well, that was spectacular. Unfortunately, they weren't sticking around. Too camera shy, hey Basil? Just way too camera shy. So, whilst we're at a waterhole like such, folks, and we've got multiple of these sort of man-made crypts around the reserve, there's Lemon Crypt, which is the one we're at. There's Kudu Crypt, Seskant Crypt, and I think that's all the crypts. And then there's Camp Cam, which is obviously at Hayes, which is where we are situated. That's where our base camp is. And then there are a few natural water sources on the reserve as well. So there is plenty of water to go around now, especially after the first rains, which tends to make game viewing a bit more tough. Because there's so much rain and water collects in all the natural holes and puddles and rock pools, that animals don't have to travel as far to find potential water. So it definitely does make game viewing a bit trickier. I'm not seeing any mind-blowing tracks here. So we'll keep going. I think what we'll do is we'll head towards Seskant Crypt. Sure, I can already feel it toasting up, everybody. Getting rather warm rather quickly. Suppose, you know, middle of summer, it's not uncommon for it to get severely warm. Yesterday at, what was it, 7 in the morning, it was 28 degrees and the humidity, oh, got some impalas. Nothing wants to stick around today. Oh, there we go. That one's gonna stay for us. Whoa! So what they're doing is something called pronking when they put their legs up like that, and it's just a word used to describe that way they run with their feet up in the sky. Let's see if we can't get closer. There is also a squirrel alarm calling. My bet for the squirrel alarm calling is he saw those yellow-billed kites a second ago and is now trying to let his fellow comrades know. Come on, Impalas, don't be camera shy. I do see a car, however, coming up. Here we go. There's some Impala. Just go slowly. Is that gap okay for you, or must I go back? You sure? How gorgeous are these antelope, everybody? Now you can see in the back that male with the horns there. The easiest way to tell the difference between a male and a female impala is males have horns, whereas females don't. Unlike our springbok population, where both male and female have horns. But these guys here with horns are still rather young. They're probably last year's lambs that have now matured. They're probably 1 year old. And then there is a male here, Basil. I don't know if you've got him there. Oh no. There is a big male there with big horns as well. Just reverse. I don't think we'll get him, bro. We can try if we cut here. Nah, he's gone. Good morning, it's Impala. Yeah. How you doing? Have you had any luck this morning? How's this? Have you heard the Ellies or seen the tracks?
Yeah. I'm very good with tracks. It's my first time to know on your box.
Well, you're doing great.
I'm practicing
Fair enough.
I did saw a jackal come at land.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, but it was from afar. It was running, it stood still, looked, and
And then gone.
yeah.
Alright. Alrighty. I'm gonna go see if I can't find the elephants.
Yeah.
I don't know where to start, but
Yeah, they were there. Yeah.
says can crap, eh? Okay. Start there.
I saw, but I don't know if it was from yesterday or today.
Okay. Cool.
Not a clue.
Have a great day, eh? Take care.
Come rescue me if I get stuck.
Yeah, sure. Sure thing. Alrighty. Shame one of the homeowners who's out on her own for the very first time just asked me, will you come rescue me if I get stuck? Shame. But what a beautiful morning it is nonetheless, regardless of the warming temperatures. Now, folks, I don't know if you recall, but on the last drive we came across a Daker, oh, I've got a rhino. I think it's a black rhino. Basil, there's a black rhino in there. Let's get ready to be quick, eh? Just saw it somewhere here. Just like that, gone. I don't hear anything. Let's go back to the road quick. I know we've got a friend. I'll get rid of him now. Can we go through here? Looks like it. Let's take this route and see if we don't get lucky. Sure, if this is a black rhino, folks, that would be really, really awesome. Just also when I'm interweaving and in between all these trees, just trying to make sure that my cameraman is safe and not going to be absolutely hooked by each and every thorn bush like I currently am. Ow! Which way is better? This way? No, this way. Well, whatever it was, it is now ventured off further into the bush. Basil, are you going to be okay to get through here? Oh wait, there's a bit of gap. Well, had it shown itself, that would have been absolutely mind-blowing. Just watch your leg there. Now, another thing whilst off-roading you have to be very, very cautious and careful about is aardvark holes and warthog burrows. You know, they can be hidden in the long grass, you might never see them coming, and if you're going too fast or don't see one and hit it at a wrong angle, you can get quite stuck out here. So always got to just be vigilant whilst off-roading, but it looks like we managed to make it safely back to the road without getting too hooked on all the trees and thorns. This is where you obviously just have to make sure the trees you going through aren't going to also pop your tires. There's a few trees out here, specifically sicklebush and zebra wood. Now, this isn't their real scientific name, but I like to make the joke their scientific name is Land Rover Flat Tire. And basically that means your car's got a flat tire. Now, I can always double check, and this is where we get to see if what I saw was actually something or if it was an inanimate object that was hiding about. But there's black rhino tracks here in the road as well. It was further up, eh, Basil? Sure. We went quite the distance through the bush there. I didn't realize it was that open at the back. I know the further you go down, the thicker it gets. Remember when we had those 2 rhino that you spotted through, I don't know how. All right, so this is where we went in. Let's go back a couple of meters real quick. Yeah, no, definitely a black rhino in here. 100%. The thing I saw was through this bush here and it's no longer there. It was a big central grey mass, but it's moved off. So I'm, without a doubt, convinced that we have just missed a black rhino. But with that being said, now the fact that we know there's a rhino in this block, and black rhinos tend to be very shy, so we know he's going to try and stay well hidden in that block. So what we can do is we can loop this whole block, and we can also monitor and see if his tracks come back out onto the road, which would mean he's already come out the block on the other side. So we shall do that and see if we can't relocate. And if we don't get lucky there, maybe we go search for some of the other creatures. Well, I have no idea where the lions are. They weren't found this morning. Look at all the new growth, all this greenery coming through. Just absolutely blows my mind every time at the rate at which the bush turns green. Actually ridiculous. Slender mongoose. There's a slender mongoose, sorry Basil. Look at that everybody. Slender mongoose. Oh, isn't he adorable? Very, very shy creatures. Also, oh, I don't know if you saw that. You can hear the bird's alarm calling now. They've just seen that mongoose and a Cape Glossy starling just bomb dived it. They're not happy with that mongoose. You can hear them. All right, folks, let's loop this block and see if we don't get lucky trying to relocate. I know there's a road that cuts through the block as well. So we might take that. See if we don't get lucky. Because a black rhino would be rather awesome. I haven't seen one in such a long time. Now, as much as I love looking for leopard, unfortunately, our leopards are still quite shy, skittish, and nervous. So they only really feel comfortable at night. So they tend to be more nocturnal this side of the world compared to places like your Sabi Sands and your Mala Mala, all those top tier places to go find a leopard. So if you even get to see a rosette here, I consider you very, very lucky. So here's that road. And I'm gonna take. Now you can see there's prominent game trails as well that these rhinos and other animals would use to get through the blocks. Because like us, they prefer the path of least resistance. If there's a hazard in the road, an animal will most likely go around it instead of over it or under it. Same as us humans. Sure, it is getting green and thick though. Struggling to see even like 20 meters into the bush. It's a red-crested korhaan calling. I don't know if you folks can hear that bird in the distance. Now, on our first drive, you would remember that we managed to find a Dacre carcass. And we ended up putting a little trap camera up there. And you won't believe the footage we got. Got two honey badger coming in scrambling over said carcass, having a tough time with each other, trying to figure out who gets which piece, as well as civets coming to munch on the carcass as well, and then a few genet clips in between. But the best part of that footage was those honey badger going absolutely crazy off this carcass. But that carcass was foul, everybody. That, huh? Oh, Basil, look at you. There, folks, sits a leopard tortoise. Absolutely beautiful, beautiful species. It's only just come out now after the rain. And look at him go. It's actually a good thing Basil saw him, because in that long grass, you know, you can just drive and not know it's there. Now, Everyone says tortoises are slow, folks. They aren't. A tortoise can walk up to 1 kilometer an hour. And if you think about it, for the size of its legs, it actually is pretty fast. Now, where did he go, is the question. Come on, little dude. I need you to move. You know what? We'll try and squeeze around him. Basil, just keep an eye on him. Yeah. We can't go this way. It's a dead end, unfortunately. But I just want to make sure I go around him and not on him. Should be rather unfortunate. But always got to keep your eyes peeled. It's the same when driving through your spider webs incoming. It's the same per se when you're driving through big puddles in the wet season. Lots of little things start to call those little puddles home. All your different frog species, your platanas, your painted reed frogs, to even things like your marsh terrapin. You even get like baby terrapins that call those little ponds, puddles, pools home. So always good to just take a bit of precaution, as fun as it is to fly through a puddle in a car. Believe me, I love doing it myself. Oh, was this the road or is that the road? So many new roads on this reserve, folks. Just quickly double checking the map. I think it's left, but just to be sure. Yeah. Well, you're right, you can go both ways, but that's going to take us back onto Seskanpad, which is not where we want to come out. We want to come out on Seskanpiltpad. So you'll notice I might be speaking gibberish, but all the road names on this side of the reserve are in Afrikaans. So you get Puff Adder Track, which translates to Puff Adder Track. You get Kudu Site, which basically means Kudu South. What else? And you get Roy Runkies, which kind of translates to Red Rock Track or something like that. Whereas if you go onto the Leadwood side of the reserve, all those road names are in English. Just to not have any confusion as to where on the reserve something gets called in. And that is why also knowing where you are is so important. This is where we hope we don't have a flat tire from that off-roading we did a while back. It's lovely how nice and open it is in this little thicket patch. It's blocked by all the other roads and the rest of this thicket, but there's a nice little open patch, perfect for rhino actually. So this is where I wanted to come out, just to see if that rhino hadn't crossed over yet, and then the next bet would be Kudu Krip. Never know. It's not too hot yet. It is warming up quite a bit though, so you never know. Animals might be headed to water. Are those white? Yeah. There's some more rhino tracks in the road here. Also pretty good tracks. Those are the white rhino there. And I will explain the difference between the two tracks in a little bit. I do just want to get to Kudu Krip, however, as quick as possible. Just to see that they haven't cut through the block. Because normally there's two that hang around. There's mom and calf. Unless it was Jock. Jock is our big bull dominant black rhino. But I haven't seen Jock. I've only seen the mom and calf. So slowly coming up to Kudu Krip now. Ooh. Saw another old lion track that looked it almost tricked me as to thinking there was a leopard here last night. These lion tracks actually look semi-good. Tell you what, let's go check the waterhole real quick and then we'll loop back for these tracks. I know where I last saw one, so I don't need to mark it. But what you'll notice is if I ever get off the vehicle and I track, I will always mark off with my foot. So I'll just draw a line behind the track just to make sure I know where I last saw the tracks before hopping back in the car and driving to the next set of tracks. But Kudu Krip's coming up just on our left here. My good golly gracious, it's getting thick. Oh, we've got some oxpeckers in the tree up here. Usually where there's oxpeckers, there's other big antelope or big herbivores hanging about. Stunning birds. We unfortunately don't get both species. We only rarely get the red-billed oxpecker here. If you go further south, you tend to get the yellow-billed oxpecker. They're talking to one another. Hey Johnny, have you seen that rhino we were riding earlier? Nah, sorry. Just checking. See if the lions didn't come through here last night. Not much luck, folks. Not much luck. So you say you heard them west, huh? So they could be Leopard Dam side. Might actually make sense. Because those tracks we saw now were headed south. What? Headed in a south. You can't speak today. a southerly but more northern direction as well. I mean southeasterly direction, that's the one. Sure, Andrew can't speak this morning. That's not the road I want to take. Going that way now. Yeah, then those are the tracks from yesterday. But there was a fresh set up at the next junction. So we'll quickly get to that junction and then just hop out real quick and see if we can't still see some of the tracks. Now, tracking can be easy, it can also be difficult. It really just depends on the weather. You definitely need sunlight to track. That's why tracking at night becomes exceptionally difficult. Also, weather plays a big role. If there's too much wind, it makes tracking more difficult. If it's raining, it makes tracking pretty much impossible, unless you're like a proper, you've been in the bush for like 20 plus years and can track anything and everything. Here's the junction. It's just off out, and then the track I saw is just here. So now there's old elephant tracks here as well. No lions going that way. Did they go down Dacre or Bosvark? Bosvark basically translates to bush pig. Come on, lions, work with us. So one thing our lions like to do, folks, is something called teleportation. And they're pretty good at it. Basically, you'll be following tracks and then just vanish out of nowhere. So either they cut the block somewhere and they walk through the bush, but I'm not seeing any tracks. So my gut feel is the next closest water source is Leopard Dam. So we're gonna head to Leopard Dam, which basically translates to Leopard Dam. Sure, wouldn't mind a leopard drinking at Leopard Dam. Would be rather fitting, wouldn't it? I never used to be good at multitasking, folks, especially with my ADHD. I tend to be a bit all over the place, but since I became a guide, multitasking has become my specialty. Drive with your knee, talk on the radio, looking at a book or your app or your map, talking, you know. Multitasking has become a bit easier for me since I did start guiding. And I'm not complaining. Makes the job a lot easier. But I mean, I wouldn't really call my job a job. Absolutely love every part about it. So, you know, it's just a privilege that I get to work in such a place. Now these drainage lines that we're about to go through now, this is a perfect highway for big cats, but especially your leopards that don't want to be seen. I mean, if you look at that, it's like a gully system there. Perfect for a leopard to stay hidden, not be seen by potential prey on the banks of either side. They can use it and sneak up on their prey. And it's just a good way to stay concealed and hidden. Because a leopard's biggest advantage is the element of surprise. Some hyena tracks. Now, we do have both species of hyena here. However, due to our lions, who have been very, very successful. Is that an elephant track? Okay. Due to our lion population doing so well, unfortunately, they've either killed off the other hyenas or they have chased them onto different reserves, neighboring reserves. I mean, there used to be 2 hyena dens on the Rietspruit Game Reserve, and now there hasn't been one for the past 2.5 years, I think. Which is mind-blowing. Because if you think about it, we don't have a huge population of lion. We've got 5 females and 2 males. We used to originally have 3 males and 6 females. But unfortunately, 2 of them passed away. We're not sure how. The male kind of just went missing and just wasn't seen for ages. And, you know, you can assume because we are in a fenced reserve, if he hasn't been seen for more than 5 months, that unfortunately he's no longer with us. And the female actually drank water with algae in it and had some hereditary disease that just didn't mingle too well with all that algae, and ended up causing her to pass away. So not great luck for the lions lately, but the others are doing well. Hunting, they pretty much eat at least twice a week, if not more. The lions are consistently fat and in healthy nick. They are stunning lions, super big.
I'm living the local Combi on Lowveld now. They disappeared. No big, no big.
Now you never know what could be waiting for us at Leopard Dam. In general, plains game, predators, birds. We've just started getting our migrant birds coming back. There was a pair of broad-billed rollers seen the other day. So that's really awesome to know that they're coming back. Still waiting on European rollers, but the European bee-eaters have arrived back. All your cuckoos. Your red-chested cuckoo, your Jacobin's cuckoo, your great spotted cuckoo, Klaas's cuckoo, Diedrich's cuckoo, Levalent's cuckoo, African emerald cuckoo. So they all slowly starting to make their way back. I think the one I've heard the most is a red-chested cuckoo. I don't know if you can hear that bird. Can you hear it? That is a brown-hooded kingfisher, speaking of kingfishers. But he doesn't eat fish, he is insectivorous. So you'll find quite a few species of your kingfisher actually don't eat fish, and they actually hunt insects. Oh, we've got a troop of vervet monkeys and 2 Egyptian geese. Now these geese call this dam home. They are the territorial resident pair of Egyptian geese on Leopard Dam, Leopard Dam. Monkeys weren't really sticking around. Where's this kingfisher? I can hear him. No, he's still quite far off. How gorgeous are those red eyes of the Egyptian geese? They're actually not geese at all. They are part of the duck family, everybody, believe it or not. And when you mention that, you know, it kind of makes sense. They're built the same as a duck. They don't have those excessively long necks like a goose does. But you can hear that brown-hooded kingfisher going ballistic. Now, oh, yellow-billed kite, yellow-billed kite. Here's another one. Now, these are also migrants that have come back recently. Now, is he gonna come drink? Oh, it's gonna come drink. Oh my gosh, guys. That is wild. It's not very often you get to witness a bird of prey drinking, yet alone a migrant bird of prey. He's quite cautious at the moment. Wow, that's incredible. See the way he scoops the water up with his beak and then immediately raises his head. That's just to make sure he can keep an eye on his surroundings and make sure no potential predators are sneaking up on him. Sure, that kingfisher is going ballistic. I feel like this is a good combination. So Basil, my cameraman, who's got this lovely shot, has given me the inspiration to pull out my camera and film the same thing. However, I tend to use quite a bit of the A7 footage for the social media. But I mean, look at this shot Basil's got, that reflection of the kite in the water. You can see how cautious and wary it is. Now, I don't know why this kingfisher is going so ballistic. Either he's just being super dramatic or there's something he's not happy with. I mean, that's a pretty epic sighting, eh? When's the last time you saw a bird of prey drinking, Basil? Really? So there you go, folks. This is Basil's first bird of prey drinking, and you've been here a year now? Yeah. Yay! Over a year. So that just goes to show in over a year, this is the first bird of prey that Basil's seen drinking. Wicked. Just goes to show how infrequently you get to see this sort of thing. I will sit and watch him for a tiny bit longer. What would be really cool is if we could get him taking off. Speaking of taking off, I think he's contemplating it. And there we go. Epic job getting that on camera, Basil. Well, that was a lovely sighting nonetheless. You know, it's not all about the big things, folks. If you can enjoy the little things like that, I promise you, your bush experience will become even greater. If you can fill the gaps between the big mammals with, I don't know, building a list of how many different insects you can see or how many different bird species you can see, you know, it tends to just keep you busy, keep you active, and it helps you not get bored in between the quiet moments. And it teaches you a thing or two. And you know, the bush works in sync. If you can't appreciate the small things, you know, you can't appreciate the big things, because without the big things there wouldn't be small things, and without the small things there wouldn't be big things. So everything kind of works in cahoots with each other in the natural kingdom. So we're going to head up towards Lowveld of South Dam now. Did any station find the lions this morning?
Negative on any station with the tracks or finding them at all.
Copy that. Thanks, lovers.
Why did you leave them last night?
Where were they last night? Ish. Lovers, I'm not too sure. I wasn't out yesterday afternoon.
Okay, copy, because 2 males were at the Veld Dam, but I don't know from there. Sorry, lovers, I'm just looking in for safety from property. We had 2 lion nesters at our property and Birdview, 423. They moved through and they actually they were moving north. In other words, towards the northern fence line of Leopard.
Towards the northern fence line of Leopard.
Okay, copy, yeah. I'll come back to try to respond.
I'm being attacked by spider webs. Oh, that's the only part about summer I don't enjoy, is getting a spider web to the face every 4 seconds. Yeah, when they start building up and you've got like 10 or so webs on you and you try and take them off, it feels like you got spiders crawling all over you. Oh, I almost forgot. Basil, we need to keep an eye out for the ornaments. How are those tires on the left? Okay still? We've got a bit of PTSD from our off-roading a bit earlier. Always like to make sure my tires are in good nick. You can see all the new growth coming through here, all the new grass shoots coming out. It's quite wild how it's all so green. Now, a couple of weeks back, we did a big burn here, and myself and Victoria, we were the sweepers, where you basically drive up and down the burnt line and make sure there's no coals or sparks or anything like that that fly across the road. So if you saw coals towards the edge of the road, you would need to rake them back in, or if you saw elephant dung, which, I mean, won't catch fire, but it smolders really well, elephant dung. People use it to transport coal in survival situations to keep that dung burning, so they have an ember to start a fire with. Oh, here's a lovely Impala ram, and this is a prime example.
Lowveld, can you come by 5?
A prime example of a adult, sexually mature male Impala ram. But as you can see, he doesn't want to stick around for us. It's not very kind of him. That hurt my feelings, Mr. Impala. Show yourself, sir. Show yourself. I can't get over that yellow-billed kite we just witnessed having a drink. Quite spectacular. But you can see how nice and open it is here. As soon as the grass grows here, it's gonna get thick, thick, thick again though. Rhino tracks here as well. Sure, the rhinos have been busy last night. Now we do fortunately have some rather awesome rhino sightings from time to time. Very spoilt here on this reserve. Not even just with the rhino sightings. I mean, the lions, they're super comfortable with the vehicles. They walk right past you. The elephants always are cheeky, so they always make for good game viewing. As well as the rhinos. But like I mentioned, leopards are quite a tough one for us here, just because they are so shy and they're so unhabituated. And unhabituated, what I mean by that is they're not used to vehicles, they're not used to people. If anything, this all used to be old farmland. And back in the day, and to this day, farmers prosecute leopards. They shoot them to make sure they save their livestock, essentially. And as unfortunate as it is, it's now over years and years of prosecution happening of leopards. They've now realized that a car means there's a person. If there's a car, it means there's a person with a gun, and they tend to avoid that as much as possible, so they're not in danger, essentially. So that tends to make finding leopard on this reserve that much harder. Like I said, they only really feel comfortable towards nightfall. Actually turned into a gorgeous morning, eh? Didn't get too hot so far, touch wood. Now that I've said that, watch, in the next 20 minutes it's gonna go up by 40 degrees. Oh, spider webs in my eyes. I really wouldn't mind trying to relocate the Ellies. No one's seen them since yesterday. No one's had tracks. No one's even seen fresh scat, so, oh. Well, there we go, we got some Impalas on the airstrip. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna approach very slowly, because as you can see, there's a fence on either side of the airstrip. We don't want them to run into said fence. Now, the reason there is a fence on this stretch of road that we're on is this stretch of road isn't a road at all, technically. It is an airstrip. So this is where the farm owner lands his aeroplane when he comes in to visit. And the fence is just to stop any potential animal from running across the airstrip as the plane lands. Don't be silly. Don't be silly. No, don't be silly.
Yeah, according to them, just the on Impala road, fence line. There is blue to this side yet. But I'm gonna try and do. Maybe I'll come away from the fence line. There.
No.
On Impala road on the eastern fence line.
This is where you just got to take it nice and slow, everyone.
Okay.
You can see how skittish, especially the two in the middle seem to be quite logically okay. That one on the right seems to be rather nervous of us, but it's still quite a bit of fence to go, so I'm really hoping that they just move off or come around the vehicle and go behind us. But you can see it's an Impala ram who seems to be the most nervous. No. Don't do it. Don't do it. Just go straight, guys. There's literally no fence in front of you. You can run straight. Like, you would think that they would realize that by now after living on a reserve for so long. Don't go into the fence. No. Oh my gosh. Wow, that's incredible. Look at them pronking like that. It's quite remarkable, actually. With that blue sky behind them. Now, I really hope that one ram made it through safely. As much as we tried not to spook them, he just didn't get the message and went. I don't know if he went over and his hind legs just touched the top, but it's not electrified, so it won't shock them. Where did you go? That's quite impressive how an antelope can just teleport through the fence. It's quite remarkable. Now you see here these two Impala again. But now, the question is, are they going to be smart enough to just run straight? Or are they too? No, they seem to have it in order. They seem to be A-okay. Don't know what was so hard for that Impala ram that he had to run through a fence, but at least these are, what? Wow. The way they launch like that still gets me every time. Oh, nice to see some Impala. But what we're going to do now, folks, is we're going to slowly head towards Lowveld of South Dam. See, now there's lion tracks again, Basil. Sequoia. Yeah. Could they have been vocalizing here when you heard that? Could they even be at Mamba Dam? Alright, so even after all that effort of trying to not let the Impalas run into fences and take our time along the airstrip, now we're going all the way back. But at least this time we can move with some oomph, because there's no Impalas we need to worry about. But we've just found some decently fresh lion tracks there. Those are the freshest we've had all morning. So I'm just headed back to this junction up ahead. And Boskamp? Could it be Boskamp?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll check the Boskamp waterhole, just in case. Look at that view of those mountains, everybody. Aren't those just ridiculous? I'm gonna go into the middle of airstrip real quick and Basil can give you a proper nice zoom in of those mountains as well. I mean, look at that for a view. Isn't that just ridiculous? And how the light is catching the top right-hand side of the mountain range there. It's incredible. These lions are playing hard to get this morning, folks. Well, to be honest, everything seems to be playing hard to get, even the Impala. Basil, what are we gonna do? At least the leopard tortoise didn't run away. You make a valid point. It's really cool getting to see a leopard tortoise. I absolutely love them. Speaking of leopard tortoises, the male tends to be smaller than the female. And males can get up to around 20 kilos. Believe it or not, 20 kilograms, yes, for a tortoise. Now the female's weight will blow your mind. A female leopard tortoise can weigh up to 40 kilograms, 40, which is huge if you think about a tortoise. See, here's lion tracks going that way now. They've come to and from Boskamp. But these tracks are now headed. You can see they actually lay down here. Look at this. See how the dirt's all like tuffed up? This is their tail that would have dragged. That's really cool to see. But you can actually see the lion tracks headed in that direction now. Oh, the elephant was busy last night. Look at that. That's wicked. The only reason I even thought of mentioning an elephant was because of this track right here. Now, if you had to see this squiggly line in the ground here, you would say, oh, a snake slithered past. Can you see it, Basil? Oh, okay. Let me readjust for you. So that squiggly mark you see, most people would tend to think, oh, that's a snake. But actually what this is, if you take a closer look behind or to the right next to it, I don't know if you can see this circular like track here. There's a lot of crisp veins and cracks in the feet, as you can see. This is an elephant track, folks. Hence the broken down tree. And what this would have been is his trunk dragging on the sand. Really, really cool to see some fresh lion tracks and some semi-fresh elephant tracks. But now the question is, where did said lions go? Because now we've got tracks going all over this little stretch. So this is where we have to pretty much check every road that goes in and out of said airstrip to make sure we're going in the right direction of the tracks. Now we know the lions didn't continue straight because we had tracks of the lions going this way. And these tracks were of females as well. So you never know. Don't see anything there. Alright, so hopefully they play ball and they actually have gone towards Leopard Dam. This is where we just have to be vigilant of what we're driving over as well. There's a woodlands kingfisher calling now, one of our other migrants that have just arrived back. Makes no sense. Absolute no sense, but there is signs of the elephants headed down this way. So I think what we're going to do regardless is head for Leopard Dam. And hopefully we can pick up sounds or, oh, there's impalas. Alrighty. Well, let's continue and get towards Sequoia. And basically Sequoia translates to sea cow, which from gibberish to English basically is a hippopotamus. However, it's quite ironic because there's not a single hippo in that dam.
On the junction of Philippines, slowly within the
Now, another thing that this weather is doing, this heat, is bringing out all the insects, especially after the rain. But to top it off, it's bringing out all our reptiles, all our snakes, our lizards, and of course the tortoises. Now we've got two species of tortoises. We got the leopard tortoise and we got Specs hinged tortoise, which is a lot flatter. It looks like it's been squished by a pancake machine. And the Specs hinged tortoise is just not that common to see. Also just because they're a lot darker, their shells, so they tend to blend in a bit more. But did you know that a leopard tortoise is the only species of tortoise, not turtle, tortoise, to be able to swim? Which I find truly fascinating. I really wonder where those lions went off that airstrip. Could have cut through a block again. Always good to just check an intersection for tracks. No luck so far. Sure, it's getting nice and green down this side even. And that's because this is where we also did the big burn I mentioned a while back. But as you can see, here's a semi-fresh branch that's been broken off by elephants. The reason I say it's semi-fresh is there are still loads of green leaves on it. However, those green leaves are now droopy and hanging, so they've been hanging for a while. Now what will happen is that branch will die off completely, but the rest of the tree will stay growing and intact until the elephants come back and push it over again, which we hope they don't. But the elephants are doing us a big favor by clearing all the thick blocks. So we can't really fault them. They're just doing what they were made to do. Clear the bushveld. Well, here's Lowveld of Dam, everybody. Huh? What did I say? Oh. Thank you, Basil. This is Leopard Dam, everybody. Sometimes get confused because they all look the same with that backdrop of the mountains. Oh, nice. It's a troop of vervet monkeys Basil spotted. And they always provide good entertainment. They are sometimes little pains though when they sneak into your house and steal all your bread. But they are very playful and cute when they want to be. Now there in the distance, that bird you're hearing going, that is a Diedrich's cuckoo. Like I mentioned, one of the migrants that's just come back. Now they often do that call whilst in flight. It seems that bird's getting a bit further away. What is that one playing with there, Basil? Is it eating a mushroom? No, not that one. This one here under the tree with that little white ball. What is he playing with? Is it a mushroom? He's like, oh no, they've seen me. Bit confused. That being said, he's going to go back and eat his mushroom. I'm very curious as to what it is though. Super strange. I've never seen that behavior before. A monkey eating a wild mushroom. They all just... Look at this monkey hiding behind the log here, Basil. See him there on the corner, behind that log. There you go. Look at this one playing hide and seek with Basil on the camera. Still not showing himself though. Vervet monkeys can be quite humorous at times as well. Other times, like I mentioned, when they steal your food, they're not really considered my best friend. But that being said, they do provide a lot of humor and entertainment when you can sit and watch them and just sit with them for a while and see their playful nature, see how they play with one another. They're a lot more like us than we think. Oh, cute, there's a baby in the tree there. Well, not a baby per se, but a youngster. You see him there? Nice. They all on a mission. They're foraging at the moment. Just like that other one was looking at the mushroom like it was a McDonald's burger or something. I found that quite funny. Alright. Now, before we head off... Huh? I want to just stop here. And the reason I want to stop here is because at the moment all the weavers are building their nests. I want to see if I can't show you a good angle of one. Look at that. All of them going absolutely bananas. Oh, I can now hear European bee eaters. Isn't the yellow of these weaver birds just so striking? I find it rather incredible how bright and vibrant they are. Look at that. Oh, monkey's having a squabble next to us here. Weavers seem to be having a squabble as well. Well, they're not happy with each other, the monkeys. Maybe we should sit and watch the monkeys for a bit longer, eh? See what other shenanigans they're gonna get up to. I'll just turn the vehicle slightly for Basil. Of course, as we stop the car, the commotion stops, but I think if we do sit here for a bit, just wait it out, we might see some funny habits kick into play with these monkeys. Slowly being pestered by flies, which is never fun. Not the monkeys, I'm more referring to myself at the moment. It's crazy the amount of bird life that surrounds a dam like this. All this lush green vegetation, perfect for all your insects and pollinators. And what follows insects is, of course, our birds. Hence why you get such a unique variety of birds at waterholes like this. As well as other life, usually. Like these monkeys, per se. Of course, now that we've put the camera back on them, they've gone silent. I guarantee you, if I were to turn the vehicle, put it back on the weavers, in 0.2 of a second, they'd start complaining again. Maybe they were just begging us to put them on the camera. Oh. All right. Leo Router. Right, folks. Oh, should help if I could put the car into gear. We're leaving abruptly. Sorry, monkeys. Just heard a male lion vocalizing. What sounds towards the eastern fence line, but we are still quite far from there. So I am going to just pick up the pace a bit. There's no guarantee we find him, but I feel like the quicker we get there, if he vocalizes again, it'll be a lot easier for us to pinpoint exactly where he is. Basil, what was your gut feel? Yeah, that's my bet as well. Oh, to the dam as well. Yeah. So what we're gonna do, folks, is we're gonna go down Leo Router, which means Lion Route, aka Lion Road, and I think I can put them on the eastern fence line junction Leo Router. So we're gonna go there quick, check it out. Hopefully we can find fresher tracks. If not, we'll come back up and we'll go up here towards Boma Pot. But let's just get to the fence line and see if we don't have any luck. Stations. I've just had audio of one male lion vocalizing just north of Leopard Dam, trying to locate. Always good to call it in, even if you don't see it and it's just roaring. Tends to get other vehicles into the area to help you assist in locating said cat. Do you know what would be ironic if we're running to the fence line to see if this lion's there and a leopard crosses the road? I wouldn't say no. I know Basil wouldn't say no either. Now we're nearly there. I can pretty much see the fence line. This is exciting though. Always gives me a tiny bit of hope when you hear them vocalizing. And our lions tend to vocalize quite early in the morning and quite late at night. So, I mean, already it's a bit late for them to normally vocalize. But then again, animals don't read books. Lions haven't read the books about them. And they are wild animals, so they do as they please. They tend to go against what the book says quite often, actually. Ooh, sorry, Basil. There's a car. Now, I just hope those lions we heard aren't the BCC lions. But it's not looking promising at the moment because that vehicle is stationary. And the BCC does also have male lions, so it could be them who were vocalizing. But it looks like they are stopped for something. Now the question is what? So we'll just approach slowly because we don't know if they're with anything or not. They're looking to the right. Did you hear the Impala? Yeah. Eh? Outside or yours? Bang on the money. I heard them at the dam and I was like, yo. Alrighty. Are they mobile? You know where they're going to be? They're going to be in that Sodic area. Just check the map. Now they have known to hide in this area before. They also tend to, if they're in this long grass, we could drive past them at, said, any point. So always good to just keep eyes peeled, ears peeled. As soon as we hear them vocalizing again, switch off the vehicle, take a listen. But my bet is they're in the Sodic area here, if anything. Nothing. Yo, that guide got me happy. He said there's male lions. I was like, how do you know it's my side? It's like, they're just there. Nothing. Yeah. Cheers, guys. Just having a look. I just came down here, folks, for the soft substrate. Was that you or the radio? It's that guide had me so happy because it sounded like he made it out like he had seen the thing. Are you talking about lions now?
On the demo, sort of like northern direction. Okay, copy. I had another one. He said, lead the hood, take view. So, but I'm not quite sure. Was talking about the number of the stands, like 4, 2, 3, something like that. Yeah, that was 2 females yesterday. Okay, copy that. Okay.
Right. We're gonna loop this block, folks. Because they didn't sound like they're on Leadwood. Leadwood's too far for them to have been there. But I think what I'm gonna do is loop it backwards. So we're gonna go back up there, back up Leo Ruta and take that little, oh shame. Is that a road back there? Seems like we found an old 2-track here, everybody. Just watch yourself, Basil. Just know I'm doing this for you. You good? You didn't get hit? I did. Oh, sorry. Well, that was a bit intense. Or should I say in the bush? I don't even know if this road goes far. But, you know, never hurts to try, because it seems like this used to be an old road. Oh, look at that, it comes out at the Sodic area. That's quite nifty to know for future. Yeah. Shame. Let me just stop so Basil can put the camera back on. I know, also being part cameraman, how tough it can be putting that camera on steady whilst the guide is off-roading. So, always just like to stop and make his life as easy as possible. He does the same for me. Now you see, I have had them here before, where I've driven past them before because they were just so flat. Just keep your eyes peeled, I believe, Basil, just because you also level up. Now they're definitely trailing the females because the females have headed on to Leadwood, and towards that direction is Leadwood as well as Kaya. Oh, can't believe that guide sold us like that though. Yeah, he said on your side for sure. I was like, and then he was like, they're just there. So I was like, okay, cool. That's why I got so excited, so hyped. And then oxygen. I'm gonna first loop this block, the Riversdale. Because this block is rather large. Well, I mean, that was a bit of excitement for the morning nonetheless. Always nice, keeps you on your toes. Alright, so our road should be coming up on the right here. Here we go. Now you never know, because it's not as hot as it was yesterday, it's actually still quite cool. Lions might take advantage of the cooler morning still and be moving still. And then as soon as it gets too warm, they'll go sit under a tree and absorb as much shade as possible for the day until it cools down once again. I got a bug in my eye. I wonder if it's just the two males or if it's a single male and female, because our lion dynamics have been all over the place lately. I'm just going a bit faster than usual just to get back to that intersection, because we know we've come down this road already. We know there's not much tracking on this road at the moment, so just shoot back to this junction, and then now we're going to continue up what I think is, what is this road? Sequoia Ruta. Now, if we don't find them on this road, it must mean they're somewhere deep in the block. And, you know, there's no point off-roading if we can't see them or we know where they are. So we'll keep looking, keep searching. What is it? Oh, yes. Thank you, Basil. And for those of you who are pack members, this week's keyword is whoo. I wonder what the image is going to be, considering the word being whoo. Alright, we're going to go down here, and then this will conclude us looping the block. Hopefully they're along here somewhere, a bit further north. But yeah, for those of you who are pack members, don't forget to email info@paintedDog.tv. The keyword of the week, whoo! I'm sure we can all guess what the keyword image is going to be. Nature's back massage, I like to call it. And you know, the best part about it is it's completely and utterly free. Sure, here's a nice little open patch. That'd be perfect for 2 lazy, sleepy lions. The reason I say 2, because at the moment I'm assuming the 2 males are with one another. Because majority of the time that's how it is. And boys spend quite a bit of time together. Spider webs are still doing me a great deal of suffering here. They're just everywhere. And it's always the mornings that the spider webs get you. Throughout the afternoon, everyone's driven along the road and caught up all the spider webs that were put out. So it's mainly the mornings you tend to get the big spider webs to the face. That being said, it's no less pleasant. Come on, Mr. Lions, or Mrs. Lions. Elephants have been busy here again. You can see on the left-hand side of the road, there's just tree after tree knocked down. And they actually make short change of these trees. They look huge. If we had to try and push one over, we wouldn't get... Giant plated lizard. Do you see it there, Basil? In that little hole. This is a giant plated lizard, folks. Not something we get to see all too often. That's exceptionally cool. I'm gonna roll back a bit so Basil can get his face in. Ooh, sorry, Basil. There you go, there's the eye. That's remarkable. Like I said, all the reptiles, he's come out now, he's sitting on that sandy, sunny patch there, trying to absorb as much heat as he can. Because they are cold-blooded, they can't regulate their own body temperature. So in order to cool down, they need to find a shady spot. And in order to heat up, they need to find a sunny spot. And they need to regulate that, because if they get too hot or too cold, they can die. So they need to be quite on top of their thermoregulation. This is so cool. I think this is only the 3rd one I've ever seen on this reserve. All right, folks. Super cool. I used to catch those guys all the time as a kid. Also been catching snakes since I was a kid. Only if they're problemed. If they're just in the bush, I leave them where they be. I used to actually get called out to people's houses to go remove venomous snakes from their place. Alrighty, Mr. Lions, where are you? Playing hard to get today. See, there's lion tracks going that way. These lions are sending us on a wild goose chase, everybody. Yeah. Decently fresh. No, scratch that. Fresh. Sorry for all the U-turns today, folks. It seems that the lions are sending us on a proper goose chase this afternoon. It's okay, I'm always up for a challenge. But if anything, I think they've gone up Riversdale Putt now, but the top half of Riversdale Putt. But then again, they could have been walking up here and cut through this block when we heard them, hence why we put the vocalizing on the fence line. Heat also plays a big factor in how far a lion's voice will go. Wind as well, so that's why you tend to hear lions calling / roaring first thing in the morning and last thing at night. Because it's colder, the sound can travel further. Sound doesn't travel as far if it's hot and windy. And is that a male lion? Doubt it. Probably a lesser spotted death tree. Yeah, lesser spotted death tree. Oh well. I still really can't fathom to you how beautiful this green color is. The camera only does justice so much, folks. But if you've never been to Africa, you definitely need to get out here one day. It will change your life. And most people that I've met who have come to South Africa the first time have either stayed or they come back regularly. So definitely come out to Africa one day, folks. You won't regret it. These roads have been destroyed after the rain though. Lots of little almost mitre gullies, if you will. I say mitre, aka mini, forming along the sides of the road where it bends inwards. If it was a river, you would tend to call them an oxbow, where the water collects in a almost half circle. So if anything, let's stop here quick. We came from here. Yeah. We did. All right. Next thing, a lion's gonna pop out of the bush and come say hello to Andrew. It's not what we really want first thing in the morning. Although probably a good way to wake yourself up, I suppose. I highly don't recommend getting charged by a lion though. I don't think anyone ever wants to be charged by a lion. Occasionally whilst you're on foot, it does happen though. Lions have played hard to get this morning, folks. I hate to say it. Alrighty, so should be coming up to the junction fairly soon. You smell popcorn?
Simon, there's a couple of fishes that are out. I'm not sure how many on the road and in Globang. There was an
So folks, the reason I stopped and went back there and said, do you smell popcorn to basil, is leopard urine, when they scent mark trees, if it's fresh enough, it tends to smell kind of similar to buttered popcorn.
lions roaring on the northern side of the Rietspruit Dam. Copy that.
So leopard urine can tend to smell like fresh buttered popcorn, which is why I stopped suddenly. It's like I mentioned, we don't get to see them all too often. So as soon as you smell that and it's fresh, you're like, oh, okay, I'm close-ish to a leopard. Do you see that bird? Oh, never mind. Thought it was a honey guide for a second. It's a dark-capped bulbul. Oh, rock monitor in the road, in the road, in the road, folks. Digging. Look at that. Digging for termites. Oh, gone straight into its burrow. Oh, wow, that's epic. Basil, let's get up quick. Let's go see if we can't have a better look. But you can actually see here his tail dragged along the road here. Wow, that was cool, eh? Sure. Did you manage to get him on the camera? Excellent job, sir. But wow, yeah, no, he's long gone. You can see this hole is rather wide. He's kind of just vanished in there. Wow, that was cool. That's something you don't get to see all too often. Looking for termites, potential reptiles taking refuge in the holes, rodents. Wow, that was a really, really cool sighting. Alrighty, let's get back on the car. We don't know where those lions are. And I preferably need my cameraman alive. Pretty please. Let me hold the camera for you, or you're good. Alrighty. Nice. Hello again, folks. Back on the vehicle now. It's also not a bad thing that he did wander off, because I kind of needed to continue straight along this road. But you see now there's two termite mounds, so we don't want to squish those either. We're going to go around them. It's more feeding signs. The animals are doing circles this afternoon, or this morning, sorry. golden-tailed woodpecker calling. Gone. It's one way to get rid of a travel buddy, aka a stowaway stick. Oh well folks, those lions have given us the slip this morning, but not to worry, we definitely will be back on track for that. But we've got 3 minutes to find an ornament. I completely forgot to find an ornament. So what are we thinking will look nice on a Christmas tree? Any ideas, Basil? Ah, the elephant dung. Spray painted gold and put it at the top of the tree as a star. Maybe towards the end. Well, let's just check now when we get to this open area. You never know, you might see something laying around. Also wouldn't mind a skull of some sorts. Alrighty, keep your eyes peeled, Basil. Is that a skull? It's a femur, a giraffe femur at that as well. Alright, that's no use to us. Alright, well folks, we know that that is the ornament we're looking for. So if Basil and I find one after we've wrapped up drive, we will add it to the tree, and then the next time we go live, we'll go live at the tree so you can see how colorful it's gotten and the first ornament that's been added. And we will keep looking for new ornaments and new ornaments. But from our side, from Basil and myself, we're going to say bye for now. I hope you guys had as much fun as we did, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.